Welcome into a brand new episode of another Footy podcast, and I'm joined by Taylor May today because we got him soldiering on through injury. Taylor, how are
Not too bad. Yourself?
you? Not too bad, bro. Not too bad.
It's a tough
We
carry today.
we got Jack. He has the lateral injury, lateral Mitchell injury. He's on your back, mate.
Straight out, a full did. Tough
He's
carry.
on
What
your
can you
back.
do?
You
What's
just got to
going on,
power through,
listeners?
mate.
That's it. Show it up for the listeners. Let's do it.
That's it, mate. They appreciate it, and I appreciate it.
Let's see what do.
Well, we got game 3 squads announced. So we'll start with the Blues first. Laurie Daly's made a couple of changes. We got Tedesco at fullback. We got Bostock and Nwanganitawase on the wings. Bradman Best, Stephen Crichton in the centres. Moses Cleary in the halves again. Payne Haas, Mitchell Barnett starting front rowers. Reece Robson a hooker. Hudson Young and Liam Martin earns an Origin recall for the first time this year. We got Isaiah Yeo at lock again. Then on the bench, Cam Murray, Fanua Blake, Haumole apparently still isn't good enough to start somehow. Blake Brayley's back, replacing Appy, who played 0 minutes in game 2, then gets dropped, but he got fat 30k from it, so I doubt he's complaining. Ethan Strange, Tolu Kola drops to the bench. And then we have Victor Radley as our 20th man. Jack, what do you think, bro?
I think with the main ones, the main ones that stick out straight away. Toto dropped, which I was pretty shocked. Speaking of it last week, I think we had a pretty good debate about it last week, sort of the pros and cons or why he shouldn't be dropped. I personally thought he shouldn't be dropped. I kind of had a feeling it may happen. But he's been a mainstay. I'm pretty sure in the first 2 games of this series, he's actually had the most meters for New South Wales. Meters and post-contact meters, Brian Toto. So his yardage will definitely be missed. However, on the flip side, I'll back Bostock to do a job. Yes, it's at Suncorp. Yes, it's a decider. But I just feel like he has that sort of attitude. He'll just go towards it. And these days, being a threat in the air, I mean, points, you can argue whether points come easy or don't come easy. But these days, having a sort of kick threat, and we're going to have it on both sides this coming Origin, it's definitely an advantage over your opposition. Like we struggled with that, and Brian Toto is known to struggle with that. So, yeah, Bostock's a good selection. Probably left field, you could say, but I reckon he'll do a job. What's your thoughts on Bostock's selections?
Yeah, look, unpopular opinion, I was sort of the one that brought it up last week in regards to Brian Toto, should maybe we potentially look at someone else. And I think Jack Bostock is a perfect candidate to replace Brian Toto. I think the way he's come back from his ACL injury this year, he's returned in brilliant form, although it has been in the centres. He's good in the air. He's okay with his yardage carries. Like, they're not obviously in regards to Brian Toto. You're not going to find anyone in the league that's capable of sort of matching his yardage carries. But like you said, we sort of have a point of difference now on the wings with both Bostock and Marky Mark. They're both able to, leap in the air and sort of create points pretty easily that way. And we saw, in game 2, Queensland had a bit of success with Jojo Fafita sort of outleaping Bostock. I'm not Bostock, sorry, outleaping Toto. And hopefully
It's going to be a good matchup for
Bostock can
Fafita.
put an end to that. But look, my biggest, I'd say, problems with this lineup, again, Haumole, I just, for the life of me, I cannot understand how the best back rower in the comp at the moment cannot start in an Origin game. And it's not like he had some sort of howler in game one where he fucking played rubbish
He
and
just got a cramp from going so hard.
that's what I mean. Like, it's not like he played terribly where it's like, okay, look, I can understand where, yeah, maybe dropping Haumole is fair. You know, how can he drop Haumole to the bench and drop him completely for game two, but still pick Mitchell Moses?
What
I
about
mean,
Lucas? Like, explain that. How can you
yeah,
explain that? He comes in
he
for game
can't.
two by dropping the form back row up, picks Lucas, and then dumps Lucas for Liam Martin. Which Liam Martin, I love Liam Martin. He's a dog, and he's never played bad in the Blues jersey. But just I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make
Yeah,
sense at
look,
all.
I don't mind the Liam Martin pick in all honesty because he's been there before. He's done that. Like you said, he has that dog in him. He always turns up for his state and his country.
And
So
he
I
always
have
smashes
no,
Queensland too.
yeah, like I have no worries about Liam Martin or how he's gonna play. But like you said, it's just like it's the whole
Treatment.
mixed messaging of it all. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and the
okay,
treatment of the players.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, I don't understand. I
surely
can,
deep down, Hamole and Lucas will be off him.
Palmola would have been off him, bro, from from game two, bro.
100%. Yeah. I don't know.
I disagree with Mitchell Moses starting, man. He's been
Yeah.
in terrible form. He played terribly on the weekend against Souths. I mean, he was a direct result of like three of their tries to his poor defense. His
Yeah.
attack was pretty rubbish. His kicking game wasn't the best. He still looks like he's carrying something in regards to that hamstring. He doesn't look fully healthy. He doesn't look right. Ethan Strange, he's been playing well. He played well on Sunday against the Dragons.
Scored a try, didn't he?
I think he got
Pretty sure.
taken off him, didn't it?
Maybe.
I think
But yeah,
Toby
Mitchell
Goudsman.
Mitchell Moses had a Barry Crocker, didn't he?
Yeah, man, he didn't play well. He was targeted in defense. He's still looking hampered by that hamstring injury or whatever niggle he's got, man. It doesn't look right. Ethan Strange, he's fully fit. He's playing well. He's raring to go. Like, I just don't understand how he's not our starting six.
Maybe same sort of decision process as Liam Martin. Like Mitchell Moses has been there, done that. I'm sort of playing devil's advocate here, but yeah, maybe that's Laurie's thinking. Mitchell
Yeah,
Moses
but
has
Mitchell
been there,
Moses
done
just
that.
doesn't look right, bro. That's the thing.
True,
Like, he
true, but
didn't
maybe
even.
10
Sorry,
days
go
in
on.
camp. 10 days in camp. I don't know. Maybe he'll look a bit more fresher than his last game.
I know, but like he didn't even kick at all in the second half of Origin, and he came off early.
And he missed two crucial tackles leading to a try over the weekend too.
That's what I mean, man. Like, he's clearly not right. Something's not right, and I don't know, man. Like, personally, I would have picked Strange to start, and I would have carried like Jerome Luai on the bench, in my opinion. Honestly, that's what I would have done. But
Bradman
obviously
Best.
Daly had different thoughts. Tolu Kola dropped to the bench. I think that was a bit harsh. Not that I doubt that Bradman Best and Stephen Crichton can do a job, but I don't know. I feel like we didn't really like sort of lay a proper platform for Cooler to do his job. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I have to agree. Look, being a Manly fan, there's probably going to be some bias, but honestly, I love Bradman Best, bro. Like, he's every time he's put the jersey on, which is I think twice only.
It's not many.
Not many, but I'm pretty sure he has like 3 or 4 tries.
Yeah,
in
he
2
did
games.
score that try at Suncorp to put us ahead.
Yeah, and in his
2
debut,
years
if I'm not
ago.
mistaken, he scored a double in his debut. And they were both game 3s at Suncorp, if I'm not mistaken either. So he's a Suncorp game 3 specialist.
He's a Suncorp specialist. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, I think after game 2, Stags probably deserved to be dropped. And,
I was surprised. I was surprised he played game 2
Really? Why?
because they were torching him in game 1. Kalen Ponga was absolutely torching him in game 1. He only sort of started having impact when Kalen went off, but he was getting torched in game 1. And you could tell
Yeah,
that was going to be their game plan in game 2. And it's exactly what they've done.
that's fair. Yeah, and he did get given a bath in game 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I probably agree. Yeah, that's probably the best center pairing that maybe we can trot out right now. But yeah, I do think it's a bit harsh on Kula. Blake Brayley on the bench again. Hopefully, Daly actually uses him, considering he didn't use Appy last game, like we spoke about earlier.
Yeah,
Um,
what he's doing there. But yeah, I'm wrapped for Blake Brayley. I thought game 1, even though it was against 12 men, he did sort of have a difference as soon as he came on. You could tell he's a much different sort of hooker to Reece Robson, who just tackles everything that moves. Brady's going to sort of get up on the ad line and cause havoc, like inside the ruck.
yeah, he did. He did play pretty good game 1. Cam Murray on the bench again. I mean,
there's whispers, only whispers, that Laurie Daly's finally got the message, and Cam Murray will start, Isaiah to prop, and Mitch Barnett will fall to the bench.
ooh, so he's playing a bit of mind games.
Apparently,
Hopefully, bro.
that's what we're hearing. I don't know. I just heard it on Matty Johns and Cooper Johns podcast. Matty said he was speaking to Laurie on the phone last week, and then about 5 minutes later in the same pod, he mentions that he has a feeling that Cameron Murray's going to... So I don't know if Laurie maybe he had that conversation with Laurie. Who knows?
Well, I've seen a bit of chat online. Some Blues fans are unhappy saying that Dylan Edwards should have been picked over Tedesco. What do you reckon?
Honestly, the Cleary. Look, I'm happy with the side. It's probably our strongest side that's been chosen this series. But I just think Cleary and Teddy in Origin don't get along. Their games are not they're not made for each other.
They're not compatible?
Yeah. I think Nathan Diddle Edwards knows when to sort of let Nath do what he does. He sort of doesn't get in the road, doesn't get in the way of the ruck. Whereas Teddy parks himself in the middle of the ruck. That's Teddy's game, in the middle of the ruck, flooding the middle, tied forwards, bouncing off tackles and whatnot. Whereas Dill Edwards is more of a like follow Nath sort of player, outside shape, on the edges, defensive. He's known for his defense. But yeah, I don't know. There could be a debate both ways because Teddy will sort of win you the game with a massive moment, example game 1, whereas Edwards will sort of set up the game and have try savers all throughout the game and sort of be there defensively, not have those lapses in defense.
Yeah, look, I think just because we need points, and I think you can sort of say 13 on 13, we've sort of struggled to score points this series, right?
Yeah.
So in that sort of case, I don't know. I'd back Tedesco to get the job done over Edwards, to be honest. But moving on to
debate.
yeah, it's a good headache to have.
100%.
Moving on to Queensland's team, so we got KP at fullback, Cobbo and Fafita on the wings, Toya and Hammer in the centers, Munster, Walker in the halves, Flegler and Tino starting props, Harry Grant hooker, Nakora Capewell in starting second rowers, Ruben Cotter lock, Max Plath on the bench, Pat Carrigan returns, Jeremiah Nano returns, Trent Liero, Reece Walsh, Murray Taulagi, and Corey Horsburgh as the reserve. What do you think?
I'm pretty sure they're 1 to 17 besides Collins because HIA over the weekend, who's replaced by Carrigan. What a replacement. And then Finafuiaki drops out, which I think is a pretty courageous call from Slater there because Finafuiaki has been one of the form back rows in the comp this year as well.
Yeah, but I think he didn't use him much in game 2. I think he only played 10 minutes.
No, he didn't. But I'm actually scared as a New South Welshman. Nanai?
Yeah.
Nanai scares me.
Yeah,
man. I don't know.
He's
How are we going to defend that bloke?
He carved up against Penrith on the weekend, man.
100%. He's going to score that. I can imagine that try. I hate saying it. That exact try he scored against Penrith, kick onto the goal line, isolated with like a center or a half.
Or isolated with Tedesco.
Yeah.
Mate, if Lindsay Collins can out-jump Tedesco, what's Namai going to do?
Straight out. That gives me nightmares. But yeah, Queensland 1-17. Not really much to say about them. Queensland are just, I don't know. They'll just do their job. They always play. They always play for the jersey somehow.
Yeah.
They always get up.
Yeah, like there's not really much to say. You're right. There's not many changes to the team. I think the backs for Queensland, they've been superb the whole series. Selwyn Cobbo scored a hat-trick last game. Hamaso's been playing well. Ponga's played well. They'll probably be the favourites coming into the series. Sorry, coming into the decider.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, no surprises.
Yeah,
We'll do a
favourites.
proper Origin preview next week. So, yeah. Who was your team of the round on the weekend?
My team of the round are the mighty Manly Sea Eagles. 30-4 to kick Melbourne a 4. Just speaks for itself. We were great defensively. We scrambled well. And I just think we're sort of getting or grasping that next man up mentality. I thought Josh Folletti had an outstanding game, especially defensively.
Yeah, did he throw into the sidelines?
Yeah, he threw someone into the sideline. There was a mini battle of Brookie round 2 on the sidelines. I'm pretty sure it was Moses Leah. And Simpkin, I thought Simpkin stood up, laid on 2 tries early to Hamole. Lafai started in the front row. I thought it was damaging off the kick returns. And I just think that win, obviously by the scoreline, was set up defensively. And I think Manly teams of old have sort of been successful on the back of defense. And that's what Kieran Foran's sort of instilling in the boys at the moment. And we just have so many strike weapons, eh? We can go left to Ben Chobojevic. We can go left to Kula. We can go right to Hamole, damaging. Jason Saab, aerial threat. We just have so many different strike weapons. I'm loving it. And speaking of Hamole, what a show out.
Yeah, he played well.
He reminded Laurie Daly what he missed in game 2. But yeah, Manly's my team of the round. What about yours?
And just on that, commiserations to Brooksy, mate.
Oh, feel bad for the poor fella. Honestly. He was in career best form, you could argue.
Career best form?
Yeah, I reckon.
Nah. Nothing will beat 2018.
Like, not to say better or worse, but he's up there with 2018, is he not?
He was in a good patch of form. I wouldn't say he was up there. Nah, I think 2018 was a freaking pretty solid year for old Brooksy. He almost won a dud.
I wasn't watching Tigers in 2018. That was shit house.
2018? Nah, it was not about better years, mate. 9th place finish.
I forgot the 9th. Sorry, boys.
The trademark.
But nah, I reckon it's been Luke Brooks' career best year, one of his career best years, in my opinion. At least to do it for, like, he does it for a couple of weeks, but he's been doing it since round 3? We're in round 17, 18. So he's had a good. You could call it a patch, but it's more than a patch, right?
How quickly things change. Our Manly fans wanted him gone to the Super League after the first 2 rounds.
Could you blame us? I'm pretty sure he knocked on like 2 kickoffs. There was one game where there was kickoffs and he couldn't even catch a ball to save his life. But anyway, your team of the round, buddy.
Manly played well, but it was hard for me personally to look past the Cowboys. Taumalolo's 300th game. You probably, no one really gave him a shot against Penrith. I know I didn't. But to play the way they did against, Penrith, who up until that point had only lost 2 games all year, man, I think it was seriously impressive. It was just a well-rounded performance from the whole team. I don't think they had a bad player. Everyone sort of did their job, did their role. Jeremiah Nanai, I think it was his second game back from injury, scored 2 tries. He played well. Jason Taumalolo, mate, he's running over the top of blokes like it's 2015, 2016 again. He
Wound
freaking,
back the clock.
I'm pretty sure he sent Isaiah Papali'i to the head bin and he
Yeah.
failed his HIA because he ran over the top of him.
Yep, he did.
Um,
Skittled him.
I think they really set the tempo off of kickoff when I think was it again Nanai?
Smash Leota.
They
McKaylee.
smashed Leota and Leota lost the ball and
Tom
they
McKaylee
scored.
absolutely hammered him.
They scored off that set. Man, Tommy Cayley as well, man. He's having a purple patch of form in his career. He's playing really well. And
his career best year?
Yeah, for sure. Easily. And I think Reed Marnie was pretty good out of dummy half too.
Yeah, so, Cowboys, they were just, as you said, they were just ons for Jason Taumalolo. They got up for him.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think they have like some horrible record in milestone games. I think they've won like below like 15% or something. So it was nice to see them turn up for Taumalolo, man. He deserves it. One of my favorite players ever to watch.
Yep.
Your worst team of the round, bro?
Worst team of the round for me was option A, the Parramatta Eels. I just thought they didn't even turn up. They were poor defensively as a group and one-on-one, like one-on-one misses. And we mentioned it earlier. Mitchell Moses had 2 one-on-one misses near the line, directly resulting in tries. As a team, 18 errors in a game. You can't win a game of footy with 18 errors. I don't care who you are. And yeah, just the poor stuff when you sort of lose a game. 6 agains, ineffective tackles, losing the ruck. Just a whole lot. Parramatta, worst team of the round for me.
Can I ask you something?
Yep.
Do you think Mitch Moses' contract currently is one of the worst in the NRL? Just for the sort of output that he's providing Parramatta over the last 2-3 years.
It's a tough one. Because, yes, while he has been injured these last 2 years, I don't even know how many games he's played for them. It seems like Origin always screws up his games for Para. But I just think when he is on the field consistently, when he does get games together, he's too influential of a player, and I think he's just too valuable to that team. So, in my opinion, yes, that contract is worth the paper it's written on.
I don't know, man, because I think,
your best ability is availability.
Yeah, and he hasn't been able, for whatever reason, the last 2-3 years, he just hasn't been able to stay on the field. They're paying him 1.3 mil a season, and then, he seems to just try his hardest to play for the Blues, but struggles to back up to play for Para. He's played, I think, how many games in like the last month is it? Like 2?
2, yeah.
Yeah, 2 games.
And one of them being Origin.
One of them being Origin, and the third's going to be Origin. So, I don't know, man. And then you look at performances like the one on last Thursday. He was very poor, like you said. Easily targeted in defense. I think this year as well, overall, he's been very disappointing. And I feel like sometimes, in the biggest moments, whenever Para's needed him over the last 2-3 years, he hasn't been there. He hasn't shown up. So I don't know. I don't think Para are getting value out of Moses at the moment, in my opinion.
But you can't really say he hasn't shown up. Like, a body breaks down. You get injuries. It's a part of the game.
Yeah, but even on the field for Para, he's been disappointing.
True.
The only game he turns up for is Easter Monday.
Yeah. He plays like a Clive Churchill medalist on Easter Monday. But I just think this year especially, maybe not in previous years, but this year, like Para as a whole, they've been riddled with injuries. I don't think they've had
Yeah,
their strongest squad on the field ever this year. So I
but
think
it
you got
was
to
weird
sort
because
of,
over the last few weeks, I thought they were improving, and that was with Moses out of the team. And then all of a sudden, Moses comes back, and they just look flat again.
yeah, you know what? Volkman and Papali'i were doing a
Papali,
good job.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
no, they were.
they were. Oh well, Para's problem.
uh, my worst team of the round was my team actually. The West Tigers, man. It was a yeah, man. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. I don't think that you're ever going to verse a team that played that bad and not win. It
Jeez.
was actually pretty bad how many chances we had in the red zone and how many times the Knights lost the ball and we still couldn't score points. Um, it seemed like because Adam Dwayne was back, he was just that was the attack. Just give the ball to Dwayne and see what he can do. And yeah, he set up one try, but they went away from something that's worked the past fortnight, which was Jerome Luai. You know,
Yeah,
Jerome Luai has been in brilliant form. He's laid on, I think, like 7 or 8 try assists in the last 3 games, and they barely went to the guy. And there was times where I seen that, like, he was visibly frustrated where he was getting overcalled, and they were just shuffling the ball onto Dwayne. Uh, if Benji, I think, look, he's a very good man manager, but sometimes, and I say this, like, I still believe that Benji Marshall is the right man for the job. He will take the club to the finals, in my opinion. I have no doubts about that. But sometimes his use of the bench is just, man,
yeah,
it's very strange. I mean, you can clearly see that Terrell May, he's just not fit to play 80 minutes every week, and
that's
he
kind of
keep
sad. Yeah,
he
he's
keeps
playing
doing it,
80.
and
Yeah,
it's costing us. It's costing us. I'm not having any bone to pick with Terrell here because I don't blame him.
it's not his fault. No, it's not his
Yeah,
fault. That's right.
it's not his fault, but teams are targeting him late in the game and they're having success with it. They're scoring. I mean, it happened last week against the Dolphins. He was just too tired to get there, and they were finding gaps through the middle. They were just punching holes through the middle. Again, they scored their first try because Terrell was just gassed and couldn't get across, and they're just again finding gaps through the middle.
Yeah, he
I
struggles to
think,
cover the inside, doesn't he? When he, I know what you mean. I've seen
yeah,
it a
and
few times, but it's only when he's gassed though.
yeah, and like I said,
Yeah,
man, you just can't blame him. He's not an 80-minute player. And I thought, we seen previously in the year, he was so effective sort of playing that 60, 65-minute role. He was fucking punching out through a mountain of work, but still sort of keeping that same intensity in attack. And you can see now, like, he's sort of trying to pace himself to get himself through the 80 minutes. And
yeah,
his carries towards the end of the game, they just lose sting. Like, he's barely running the ball up with momentum. It's plotter. He's running the ball
yeah,
like a plotter for the last 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
yeah. To save that energy, he's in his
And
reserves.
I think, man, Appy Coruscant, bro, we we're going to run this guy into the ground because
80
every
minutes.
year for the last, since he's signed for us, man, you can see the guy's tired. You can see he's struggling for energy, and they just don't take him off for whatever reason. I know it's hard because he's such an important player and he is one of the best nines in the game. But again, like, I think, we've seen a pretty poor game from Appy because he was just making these uncharacteristic errors under fatigue. And
Yeah, yeah. You could
we
tell.
seen it last week when he threw that it was just a sloppy, lazy ball to Jessesi Lanyon, and Jessesi lost the ball, and that sort of flipped the momentum, and then the Dolphins ran away with the game. And then I thought he made a couple of errors at key times. in this game, and it was just purely due to fatigue. And
Yeah.
my biggest thing at the moment as well with Benji is Latu Finu.
Yeah, the way he plays him doesn't make sense, does it?
Man, it is going to be very trademark West Tigers to ruin the development of one of the most talented halves I've ever seen. Like,
Yeah.
for the love of God, Benji, please just stop putting the guy on to play hooker. He's not a hooker. He's not a hooker. He's okay. Maybe he's not the best half at the moment. That's fine. Let him play in cup and learn his trade. Let him build his confidence. Let him develop his skills as a half. It's making no progress to his long-term game. Just bringing him on to play hooker or bringing him on to play lockman. It's just, bro, it's so fucking frustrating. So fucking frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, he's like Isaiah Katoa like, with his
Yeah.
way to play sort of direct and dig into the line and know when to run, but he's just not being given a chance. And if you're not gonna, you know, give him the chance in first grade and give him the chance in cup. But man, I don't know. It's very, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Uh
So,
moving on. Who is your player of the round, bro?
player of the round, surprise, surprise, Hamole. Yeah, Hamole Olakawatu, my player of the round. Um, I think, yeah, I don't really need to delve into it too much, but just damaging runs, imposing himself on the opposition. Um, gave Cameron Munster absolute nightmares throughout the whole game. Um, I'm
Who
going to read
doesn't he
some.
give nightmares?
Yeah, straight out. Who doesn't he give nightmares to? I'm going to read out his stats. So 2 tries, 16 runs, 160 meters. I forgot to get the post contact, but probably 100 of just those on their own. 7 tackle breaks and 2 line breaks. I thought it was solid defensively, was putting shots on as usual. And I just think his attitude throughout the whole game was, and no one would ever admit this, like the player themselves will never admit this, he was proving Laurie Daly wrong. Let's be real. um, I, and I've seen his sort of intent. He took a run from kickoff. I don't think I've ever seen Hamola take a run from kickoff. And
Yeah, and he KO'd someone.
yeah, he absolutely KO'd someone. That just showed his intent. Like, when I seen that, I was like, Jesus, he's not playing around. But yeah, Hamole for me, player of the round.
And it's a credit to Kieran Foran too, bro, because this is the best I've ever seen how Molly play.
100%. He's
Like I feel like over the last couple of years, we all knew the potential he had, but he sort of like he'd have 3 or 4 games where it's like, okay, like this is the guy we all know that he could be, and then he'd sort of fade out in and out of games. But I feel like this season he's really put it together. Every single
100%.
game, it's just 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10.
I agree. And I feel like Kieran brought out that he was always strong and powerful, but I feel like Foran's brought out that aggression this year. He actually
Yeah.
wants to hurt people now. And I absolutely love it.
All right. Well, that's enough manly chat for today. um, no, my player of the round, surprising, but it was Stephen Crichton. I think
Right,
the last 2 weeks since he's moved to 5A, I think he's been playing a lot better, and it's sort of unlocked Lachlan Galvin a bit. I think Galvin, as much as it pains me to say, I think he's been in pretty good nick the last 2 weeks. And um, what really sort of surprised me about Crichton is that playing in the halves, man, he was directing the team around very well. We all know he has a big voice, but it was surprising for me to sort of see that come into fruition in the halves. I thought his kicking game was really impressive. He was putting in these early kicks and just had Matt Burton on the chase, and he was really pinning the Titans into their own half. His ball playing as well was really impressive and surprising to me. Um, he has a bit of deception and sort of plays very direct and knows how to sort of draw and pass and suck in defenders. I don't know, maybe that's because he played a bit of fullback growing up, so he knows has a bit of ball playing skills. But yeah, nah, man, Stephen Crichton. It was my
Stephen
player of the
Curran,
round, bro. It was pretty impressive.
100%. He has been good when he's shifted to 5'8", and doggies feel it looks like they know, and so they have direction now in attack,
Yeah,
and it's
and
sort of
it's weird
effective.
because you would have thought like Stephen Crichton is like one of the last people you would have thought that would have provided that for the Dogs and the Halves.
Straight out, like, and it's affected their whole team in the positive. Like Bailey Hayward
Yeah.
the other day, I don't think I've ever seen him run from dummy half that many times effectively.
Yeah, nah, that was probably his best game I've seen him play at 9.
Yeah, there was a time he took a scoot, I'm pretty sure, on the short side, throws an absolute peach of a cutout to the winger, and the winger scores. I was like, damn, I wasn't familiar with your game, Bailey Hayward.
Maybe we were wrong all along.
Straight out. Gospel
And
pays off.
he seems to have he seems to have lifted burden a bit. He seems in better spirits the last fortnight playing in the centres.
Honestly, I've been saying for years, Burden's not a 5'8", eh? They finally conceded.
Look, I think he is a good 5'8", not a great one.
He's a centre with a torpy. That's not a 5'8".
I think he's an elite centre. That's the difference.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think they just put him 5'8" because he's a good runner, and he had a torpy in him. But I don't know. I think you sort of need more for 5'8". They say 5'8" is just the running game, but you need more.
Yeah, obviously you need to be a bit creative, but he just doesn't seem to have those sort of tools.
Which is fine, but I don't know why they persisted for so long at 6. But anyway,
and he's able to use his biggest strength at centre, which is his running game.
100%. He's a big body, like getting him one-on-one at centre.
And he's quick.
100%, yeah.
Like I said, man, Crichton was putting in those early kicks for him, and he was the first one there on every chase.
Yeah, he was too, eh?
Yeah, but yeah, my player of the round, Stephen Crichton.
Critter.
The fans, they agreed with you for the second time in a row, bro. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I'm the people's champ. What can I say?
You're the people's champ, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
That's it,
Give
bro.
me you smile.
The double champ does what the fuck he wants.
So a bit of signing news. Some big signings for Melbourne. They've signed Bronson Jerry. How do you say his last name? Is it Jerry or Jerry?
I'll say cherry, like the fruit. Cherry.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I always get confused. Bronson Jerry, he was obviously told he's free to leave for next year, and he's signed a 3-year deal with the Melbourne Storm. And Oren Keeley, he had already signed for Melbourne next year, but they brought him over immediately for the rest of the year. What do you think?
Pretty good signing. Cherry, great signing. You know what? Both of them, great signings.
Yeah. Oren Keeley, for me, is a very typical Melbourne Storm signing.
100%. 100%. Not many people may know him now, but he's going to be an elite second rower in the coming years under the Melbourne system. And I reckon the same with Cherry. I think his game's going to improve. He's already a good player, but I think his game's going to improve dramatically with Melbourne in Melbourne's system. Very good signings, very solid signings, and I think they'll both fit well into the Storm's team.
It's interesting with Cherry's signing how the Melbourne's backline's looking for next year. So they'll have most likely far longer at fullback, Asako and Coates on the wings, and then Cherry and who in the centres, you reckon? Moses Leo? because apparently they've told Jack Howarth he's free to leave as well, and obviously Nick Meaney's signed for Perth.
Yeah, probably Moses Lee that way.
But yeah, no, I think Melbourne, we know what they can do. They can get the best out of players, and Bronson and Jerry under Bellamy, man, if Bellamy is the coach next year, he has potential to be like one of the most lethal centers in the comp. And
Outside
yeah,
money too. That's going to be something, eh? Outside
oh
Munster.
yeah, because yeah, that's right. He specializes on the left.
That's why
But
he threw a tantrum earlier this year, wasn't
so
it?
it'll be Munster, Jerry, and Coates.
Munster cherry coats. Yeah, that's a
That's fucking
very
lethal.
good. Lethal left edge.
And Oren Keeley, like we said, is one of those signings, like Eli Katoa, you know what I mean? Like you can see the potential whenever they played at their previous clubs, but
And then
whenever they
bang.
come to Melbourne, they just have the system, they get the best out of everyone.
Yep.
And I think they'll do the same with Keeley.
Good signings.
Uh Dane Gagai signing with the Broncos for next year. And look, I don't normally post train and trial news like signings, but this one was pretty big. The West
Yeah.
Tigers signing Josh Schuster on a train and trial for the rest of the year. What do you think?
Dan Gagai signing, I think it's like how do you say it? Good for like him, like himself, because it's a swan song. I know he made his debut, NRL debut at the Broncos. Um, yeah, good signing, good swan song, good ending to his career. And the Schuster signing, the same. Uh, good signing, no downside for Tigers because it is a New South Wales Cup train and trial deal, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
But he is eligible for the NRL.
yeah, there's always that room for upgrading. But yeah, no downside. We've all seen Schuster's talent when he's on, when he's fit. One of the more talented players in the game. I'm pretty sure Benji Marshall was playing against Schuster in Schuster's NRL debut, and Benji Marshall was quoted after the game saying it's one of the best debuts that he's ever seen from a youngster. So I
True
just think
story.
I think it's a good story itself if Schuster can make it back to NRL via Benji Marshall, via the Tigers. Be interesting to see how it pans out.
Yeah, look, Dane Gagai is signing with the Broncos, man. I don't know if Madge is trying to assemble like Dad's army. He's re-signed Ben Hunt for next year. Signed Mitch Barnett. Signed Dane Gagai. Like I don't know. I don't know what sort of squad building he's got going on. Like obviously with the Chibasaki leaving, like it's a good signing, but I just thought they would have went for I don't know, like more youth.
Like a
You know what
Bronson
I mean?
Cherry. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Or like they probably got Gagai for decent coin, maybe like 250K, 300K or something like that. But I don't know. Like, surely there's someone in their pathways or something,
I don't know.
unless they just prefer experience.
I think Madge is known to go for the experience, right?
Yeah,
Um, and it's only 1 year, like couldn't hurt much. And he's going to sort of help the youngsters. He's been in the NRL for what, over 10 years now, over 10, 15 years. He's going to sort of teach the youngins how to go about training, how to go about the week, how to prepare for a game.
yeah.
I
How
think
to
he
be
brings
first
more.
graders week in, week out. But I
Yeah, he
mean, they
brings
should
more than
know that,
just,
right? Like they won a comp last year.
yeah,
Surely
true.
their
But
guys are experienced enough to know that sort of stuff.
I don't know. That comp was a fluke.
Some Reese Walsh magic.
Yeah.
In regards to Josh Schuster, I think you nailed it on the head, bro. There's really no downside to this sort of signing. It's not an NRL deal. Um, we all know that Benji has sort of a special relationship with Polynesian players, and I think he can get the best out of Schuster. It'll be interesting to see what position he plays. I watched an interview that he did with James Graham recently, and he was adamant that he sees himself as a half, but with Latu Fainu, Adam Dwayne, and Javon Andrews at the club, I'm not sort of sure that there's a pathway to being a half. But look, if
Right
he
back.
plays cup in the halves and brains it, I mean, he might have to force Benji's hand, right? So
True. It's funny though. His best year in NRL was that second rower. So go figure.
I don't know. I feel like he might be a pretty good ball playing lock. What do you reckon?
Yeah, 100%. If he's as fit as he is right now, I don't know if you've seen photos of him lately. He looks so
He
fit.
looks lean, bro.
Yeah. If he's how he is now, like in that shape, yeah, I think he'll cause a threat in the middle. Pretty similar to Dylan Walker, what Dylan Walker does when he jumps on.
We got Riley Price signing with the Warriors on a 2-year deal from the Dolphins, and Luke Lauliti is also joining the Warriors for the rest of the year before moving to Perth next year.
Riley
Any thoughts?
Price. I'll be honest, I don't know who Riley Price is. Like no disrespect, but yeah, I don't know who that is.
He's played reserve grade for the Dolphins. I think he's played a
Oh,
couple of NRL games.
I've just Googled him. Steve Price's son. How good.
He's gone back home, mate.
He's going back home. That's it. Now, honestly, I haven't watched him much, but typing in his name, it looks like he was in the Panthers system, so he should be decent. And then Luke Lawali'i. Where's he going?
He's going to the Warriors for the rest of the year, then off to Perth next year.
That's interesting. Warriors for the rest of the year. And Perth next year. I don't know. Good signing for Perth. Perth caliber signing.
Very. Nah, look, in
Just
regards
decent
to Luke
signings.
Lauliti- in regards to Luke Lauliti, yeah, I think he'll. It's sad to say, but I don't think he'll make it in first grade as a winger. I think he's just too short. His yardage carries and his finishing is fucking elite, but he's just too short, and there's just too much of a mismatch. Like I think he's like 175 centimeters.
No way.
Yeah, man. Like,
So he makes Cottle look 6 foot.
yeah. Like, obviously, in real life terms, it's not that short, but footy terms, it's pretty fucking short, right?
What do you reckon's a good position for him, center?
Center or fullback. He was a fullback coming through, right? And we sort of moved him to the wing because obviously we got Buller. But yeah, I think in first grade, probably fullback or center are his long term positions. And
You never know. Mal Meninga, the GOAT, might unlock him.
yeah, don't know about that. he doesn't have a Queensland team to carry him this time, or a Kangaroos team.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, yeah. Jasace Arkey signs with the Perth Bears. Probably, this kid's not really known, but if you are an avid follower of the pathways,
Which you are.
this kid's a jet. He's a gun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is
I
he?
think he's a
Half?
half. He's like a 5'8" halfback.
Patrician Brothers. Is that Penrith Juniors as well?
No, he's as I was just about to say, he's probably one of the Dragons.
What?
Yeah, he's a Dragons junior. He's probably one
Jeez.
the Dragons will regret letting go, man, because this kid has a lot of potential. Although I can see why he sort of moved away from the Dragons, considering they just signed Metcalf and they have Atkinson sort of tied down long term. So maybe he sees more of a path to NRL at Perth, which I can understand. But
Yep.
yeah, man, this kid they have a look. It seems like Perth. I actually rate their last was it 2 out of their last 3 signings in Mason Barber and Jasace Key. I think that's sort of the right strategy they need to target because obviously they're having problems attracting big name talent. So sort of targeting these young guys with massive loads of potential with Mason Barber and now just say Saki. I think it's a step in the right direction for them.
You said it.
So some audience questions. We got one from Lepetti from Instagram. He says, with Melbourne Storm having Oren Keeley, do you think the club could see a turnaround?
I don't think that signing in and of itself will turn the club around, but I think it's a very good signing. I think we touched on it earlier. Melbourne are sort of going to have that effect on Oren Keeley, if anything. Melbourne are going to better Oren Keeley. Melbourne are going to make Oren Keeley a better player. Melbourne's system's just too solid to not do that to a player with the potential that Oren Keeley has. But yeah, honestly, I think Melbourne as like in general, at the moment or this year, they were struggling with the change or with the sort of tempo of the play of the ball, whereas they're known to slow down the ruck. So I just think it'll take some adjustment, but Melbourne will be back up there in no time, unfortunately.
Yeah, look, not much more to add on my end. I think you nailed it pretty well. I don't think the signing in itself will turn the club around, but it is a great signing. A great signing. We have a question from Taylock _12 under aka as Connor Noons. Who has the more questionable selections? Laurie Daly or JL recalling BVV, also known as Baxter?
You can answer that one.
Baxter doesn't even bother to show up nowadays, mate. So I don't even know how to answer that.
He's on call.
He's like, he's like his favorite player, Jareen Buller. Always has a bit of moments, but he can never consistently show up. Yeah, I'm just joking. I love Buller. Last week's tips. So Baxter sent in his. He tipped Souths, which he got right. He tipped Titans, which he got wrong. He tipped Roosters, which he got right. He tipped the Warriors, which he got wrong. He tipped Penrith, which he got wrong. He tipped Melbourne, which he got wrong. He tipped Raiders, which he got right, and he tipped the Tigers, which he got wrong. So bad round for Baxter, mate. Yeah, not good, mate. Not good.
Tough round. Tough round.
Yourself?
As in last week's tips.
Yeah. How'd you go? It says there on the screen you got 5 out of 8.
Yeah, I did. I got 5 out of 8. Decent. Let's pull it up and suss it out. Give me 1 second.
It was funny.
Guys.
I remember we both tipped Souths even last week on the podcast, and
yeah,
we messaged each other. We're like, Para at home, Moses back. I think Para might get an upset. We changed our tips and how wrong we were. You know what? That's a lesson. I always fucking do it, bro. I overthink it. I change my tip last minute and I just get made to look like a fool.
Yeah, I got 3 tips wrong. Tips that I got wrong were changing to Eels last minute. Rabbits won. Tipping Titans. Doggies absolutely smashed them. And then I tipped Panthers. I thought Panthers will get up against Cowboys, but Cowboys were just all over it. And the rest of them I got right, which was Roosters, Warriors, Manly, Raiders, and Knights.
Yeah, I think we had the same tips. I'm pretty sure we said that on the pod as well last week.
Yeah, we full did.
Eels, yeah, like you, Eels, Penrith, and there was one more. The Titans, yeah. Eels, Titans, and Penrith were the ones that I got wrong.
Yeah.
So Baxter's sent in his tips for this week. He's tipped Penrith, Tigers, Sharks, Manly, and the Dolphins.
Nice.
Who do you got this week?
I've got the Rabbits, the Tigers. That's mine on the far right, by the way. The Sharks, Manly, and Newcastle. What about yourself?
Yeah, I've gone Penrith,
Yeah?
I've gone the Dragons.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've gone the Dragons to beat the Tigers. Um,
And he's gone the
I've got
Broncos.
I've gone the Broncos to beat the Sharks. I've gone Manly and I've gone the Knights.
Nice. You've got all the outsiders, eh?
Although I
Yeah.
might change from the Broncos to the Sharks.
True. Are you sure?
Well, I don't know, man. Surely the Broncos are at home. They got to bounce back, right? Like, surely this week's the week. The season's on the line.
Nah, their season's done. That's it. They're ready to go to Bali.
Madge is used to it from his days at the Tigers. So
Well, nah, not according to Madge. He says, nah, the season's not over.
yeah, he'll never give up, mate. That
Straight
bloke
out.
has so much passion, bro.
100%.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. That's another episode on the wraps. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. And follow us on Podbean too. All the links will be in the bio. Thanks for listening. See you guys next week. Adios.
Peace.